We will be going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8 a.m. like normal. It is 72 degrees outside, man. It's nice out. We went for a good run to the gym this morning and a good run back home. It was nice both times. It's just really perfect weather. It might be a little humid out, but really not too bad. It was raining a little while ago before we came in, so be advised it is going to be a little bit drippy out. So you might have a umbrella or a light rain jacket handy in case the skies open up on you, but it should clear up later this evening, though. So by the time you get off work, it looks like it's going to be sunny and nice out, so go outside and enjoy some time with friends and family. We'll walk the dogs, do whatever, because it's Friday. Instead, stay out late, go to the movies, whatever you want to do. It's that time to do it. So with that being said, traffic conditions going into Tulsa are really pretty fair. Like, there's no real traffic issues. There hasn't really been any traffic issues all week except for that first day where the storms were blowing in real hard. So your commute's going to be just fine. Now, nothing's changed on the Owasso's calendar, so no real issues with upcoming local events, but we'll jump right into the national news. So, if you remember a couple days ago, we did a video called Target Dumps Pride. Well, I guess at the in the final seconds before that turd got flushed, the toddler that is Walmart stuck its hands in there and pulled that thing out and said, "We want this. We want a big piece of this." so here they are.
Oh my God!
Wanting to bring in the Pride stuff into their marketing. So check this out. Chad has a video here that he's gonna pull up, and it's a Walmart's new Pride collection. Like I said again, Target got rid of their Pride. And again, Target didn't get rid of all of their Pride stuff. They just got rid of their stuff specifically targeted to kids. So, the tuck-friendly swimwear and all that crap. Mm-hmm. So, again, now Walmart's proudly promoting this as well. So, whenever you're ready, Chad, play that video and we can...
Got it.
You have the audios pulled up on the computer?
I do.
Excellent.
Give me 1 second here. I'm transitioning screens. And we are ready to go.
People have magic that we can share.
We're lucky enough to be in the Walmart Pride collection this year. Total dream come true.
It's not every day that I see my products in a Walmart.
It's important to me to share my art.
No one can make the art that you make. No one can say the things the way you say them. There's a lot of opportunity to uplift with a bit of playfulness and imperfection.
The world needs to hear what you have to say and your story.
Why?
Queer people have magic.
I thought that's what he said there at the beginning. Queer people have magic. What are you, a satanic worshiper? Like, what? How do you have magic? Do you have gay magic? But yeah, so Walmart coming in and pulling that turd of Pride right out of the toilet before Target flushes it down, saving it. And again, this kind of stuff, it should not surprise you. Despite the fact that gay people are less than 3% of the United States population, they are overrepresented in absolutely every aspect of society because they are overrepresented in the arts, because they have to produce things like art, like culture, because they don't produce children. Their art is their children. Their art is their life. You and I, folks who are hetero, we reproduce. We have kids. Our legacy continues. If they don't produce something that other people don't see or don't appreciate, their legacy dies with them. Now, in this strange, crazy world we're living in, they're all either, you have those two gay guys that adopted kids, and it turned out they were pimping their kids out to pedophile rings. So that's why, you really shouldn't trust gay people adopting kids. Now, obviously, that's an exception to the rule, but still, not a good thing. The kids need to be brought up in a normal hetero household in order to appreciate life, in my opinion. So, yeah. But now we have these gay dudes paying women to incubate their babies for 9 months. So, I mean, the best way I ever heard this put, and they put it far more crassly than what I'm about to say, but basically, you pay a prostitute to not have sex for 9 months. I mean, I couldn't put it any better myself. When I heard somebody say that, I was like, yeah, no, that sums it up. Women who carry children for other people are just prostitutes for gay men, essentially, except they're just carrying babies instead of being paid for sex. So that's an interesting take, and I think it holds true. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, like, if you have a family member of yours wants to have a kid and, the sister or cousin comes in and goes, I'll incubate it for you. That's different. But gay men basically paying a woman a salary to grow their baby for them, and then you take away the child from the mother, and, I think that's disgusting. I think that's wrong. So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but the reason Walmart is doing this isn't because they care about pride. It's all about virtue signaling. They just want to look good in this modern, ridiculous culture we live in. So, but the primary reason is, again, I've talked about this before too. People who are investors in Walmart, places like BlackRock, they give out bonuses for DEI stuff. So diversity, equity, inclusion. This includes gay, LGBTQ stuff. So guess what? Even if Walmart didn't go profitable this year, the CEO of Walmart can bonus himself a several $1 million bonus for hitting a certain DEI quota. So he hired these artists to create gay products to sell at Walmart to meet that bonus requirement. And I know some of you might find this hard to believe, but that is the truth. I mean, again, I could run a Fortune 500 company and they'd be like, look, you don't have to turn a profit, but you can bonus yourself if you just meet these DEI quotas. You bet your butt I'm meeting those DEI quotas. Bet your butt I'm meeting them. Because I can literally destroy the company, but still pay myself a boatload of money.
Yeah, that's called incentive. That is called incentives. If you make perverse incentives that actively harm the company but line somebody's pocket, they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO of Walmart, and I ran this company in the ground, but I met a bunch of diversity, equity, and inclusion requirements, so I got to leave and get fired from this company, but I got to make, additional $20 million bonus because I met those DEI quotas.
Yeah, and by the way, I pulled up the images of those two gay.
Oh, yeah, that way people don't think I'm just making crap up.
Oh, yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
No
so,
problem.
Again, congratulations to Walmart for pulling that turd of pride out of the toilet before Target flushed it away. So, again, people say, why do you care? Why do you talk about this? This is why. That is a Walmart commercial I just showed you for Walmart's new Pride line. Why do we care that they're selling a Pride line? It doesn't do anything for the common person. Food prices keep skyrocketing, and you think that we want to buy gay products? Like, this is where you're going to go to distract people from the extreme increase in prices?
Yeah, the extreme levels of poverty that are increasing.
Yeah.
Hey, here's some rainbow stuff in the Walmart section.
Yeah, and again, this is just one aspect of it. The fast food company, I mean, Red Lobster's closed down. They're out of business now.
Red Lobster's done. Oh, Endless Shrimp is done.
Endless Shrimp. So, and the other thing, too, is guess what? McDonald's doesn't even have a dollar menu anymore. They're going to try to do a $5 meal pack, but you know how they're going to sell that? They can't do it in this modern market. Coca-Cola is going to subsidize it by doing another endorsement deal with Walmart, so they can make it affordable for them.
So $5 meals at McDonald's aren't actively feasible unless it's being subsidized
by another
soda company.
Yeah.
Good Lord. So
this is the truth. I mean, we can do probably a bigger deep dive into that maybe next week, but this is just one aspect. Again, if I was a CEO and I knew that crap was falling and hitting the fan, Like, you can bet I'm going to make sure that I'm hitting those DEI quotas to when they walk me out the door and the shareholders find somebody else to do my job, I'm going to meet those DEI quotas so I can bonus myself as much money as possible when they show me the door. This is not a good business strategy. DEI is a terrible business strategy, especially these perverse incentives to hire as many unqualified people. And not all of them are unqualified, but again, when you're running a business, you want the best person for the job or people who are going to work well with you. DEI kind of destroys that incentive by saying, well, if you just put a person of color in there, boss man can, benefit himself. So. But we'll push on to the next subject now. We'll talk a little bit more about, what was really cool. So a while back, I think it was last week, Nancy Pelosi went to the Oxford Union. The Oxford Union is like the most prestigious academic school in the UK. And she went there to debate someone who's not a politician. In fact, he's the former banjo player for the band Mumford & Sons. I don't know, Mumford & Sons was everywhere when I was in college, and I still think they're a good band. But he's the banjo player, and he actually got kicked out of the band, I think, a year or two ago.
Yeah, his name is Winston Marshall.
Yes.
Is the band member's name. Winston Marshall, and he was kicked out because I don't know if he couldn't or what, but he did not get the COVID vaccination, and his band booted him for that.
Yeah, he had different opinions about the COVID shot, and
well, I don't remember if it was him, but he might have had like a thing where he was like medically like exempt, like he couldn't physically take it. I'm not sure if that's him or not. I know that there was another band member that had that.
Either way, there was a disagreement. He's an outspoken political guy, right? And he had some differences of opinion, and the band was like, well, you're not fitting the mold anymore, so you got to go. So he was dismissed from the band Mumford & Sons. I mean, he was the banjo guy. I mean, if you know anything about Mumford & Sons, the banjo is like what makes their band stand out. They're unique for that. They're like this folky kind. They kind of brought back a indie folk music. Mm-hmm. So, and what was so cool about his speech he gave, he talked about America. He talked about
populism.
People around the world. He goes, the people in these states that you call flyover states are, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, like this is not exactly what he said verbatim, but he was like, the people that I met in the South, the American South, are not the people that you describe. They're not the people that the media describes. He goes, they're good, decent people. And I was just like, man, thank goodness, a foreigner who went on tour all over the U.S. is going to come in here and be like, yeah, no, the U.S. Southerners are not what you think they are. So, anyway, I'll go ahead and let Chad kind of play this speech he gave. It's pretty great. And like I said, he's not a public speaker. He's a musician. He's going against a lifelong politician.
Yeah. The topic in this particular debate is populism. Is it good or bad, basically?
Yeah.
And he's on it's a good thing side. Yeah. And Nancy Pelosi, of course, is on the side that it's not good. But, Nancy Pelosi's not been for the people for a very long time.
Yeah.
And we'll start it up.
Populism is not a threat to democracy. Populism is democracy.
It is part
I
of
now
Oxford
look to
Union.
Mr. Winston Marshall to close the case for the opposition.
How long is this?
It's about 12 minutes. But like I said, we don't have to watch all of it. We can just watch part of it.
Words have a tendency to change meaning. When I was a boy, woman meant someone who didn't have a cock. Populism has become a word used synonymously with racist. We've heard ethno-nationalist, with bigot, with hillbilly, redneck, with deplorables. Elites use it to show their contempt for ordinary people. This is a recent change. Not long ago, Barack Obama, while still president at the North America's Leaders Summit in June 2016, he took umbrage with the notion that Trump be called a populist. How could Trump be called a populist? He doesn't care about working people. If anything, Obama argued he was the populist. If anything, Obama argued Bernie was the populist. It was Bernie who'd spent 5 decades fighting for working people. But Trump. Something curious happens. If you watch Obama's speeches after that point, more and more recently, he uses the word populist interchangeably with strongman, with authoritarian. The word changes meaning. It becomes a negative, a pejorative, a slur. To me, populism is not a dirty word. Since the 2008 crash, and specifically the trillion-dollar Wall Street bailout, we are in the populist age. And for good reason. The elites have failed. Let me address some common fallacies, some of which have been made tonight. If the motion was that demagoguery was a threat to democracy, I would be on that side of the House. If the motion was that political violence was a threat to democracy, I'd be on that side of the House. January 6th has been mentioned. A dark day for America indeed. And I'm sure Congresswoman Pelosi will agree that the entire month of June 2020, when the federal courthouse in Portland, Oregon was under siege and under insurrection by radical progressives, those too were dark days for America. Yes?
There is no equivalence there. So that, yes.
So you don't agree? That's fine, you don't agree, that's fine.
But it is not like what happened on January 6th, which was an insurrection incited by the President of the United States.
So you don't agree? But you'll condemn those days. My point, though, is that all political movements are susceptible to violence and indeed insurrection. And if we were arguing that fascism was a threat to democracy, I'd be on that side of the House. Indeed, the current populist age is a movement against fascism. I've got quite a lot to get through. Populism, as you know, is the politics of the ordinary people against an elite. Populism is not a threat to democracy. Populism is democracy. And why else have universal suffrage?
That's true.
If
That
not
is
to
100%
keep
true.
elites in check.
Probably
Ladies
a
and
good jumping
gentlemen,
off point.
given
But yeah, he comes in and gives a common man's argument for populism. Now, populism isn't always going to be on the right side of stuff. You know, like populisms could, back in the day, in the Civil War, a lot of people who were populists were like, hey, slavery's a good thing. Let's keep it. And a small, crazy minority was like, no, slavery's bad. We got to get rid of this stuff. So populism isn't always right. But populism is most certainly the will of the more normal people against the elites. And he's right there. That final point he made was pretty darn right. But you could also see that he's in a room full of progressive liberals, because...
This is, the Oxford Union is in,
The UK.
England. So it is a prestigious hall of debate. And, I've watched several Oxford Union debates. They're all pretty good. But he did an excellent job, and he goes on to talk on interviews later that she talks like she's not a member of the establishment. At her age, she is a member of the establishment.
Yes, I mean, she's a multi-millionaire now. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has, if you watch Instagram or anything like that, her trades are better than professional stock traders, like her trading values, because she's got insider information. She knows what military contractors to sign up for. She knows what equipment companies to invest in, because she knows that those are the ones that are going to get the hefty government contracts.
Yep. Well, it's also if you write laws that benefit certain things. So if you write a law that benefits eco-friendly vehicles, what are you going to invest in?
Eco-friendly vehicles.
Eco-friendly vehicles. That's exactly right. So that's the issue that we have here is when you can make the law and then you start trading into, start buying up stocks for something that's not too hot. By the time 5-10 years rolls around, boom, Tesla is like one of the number one,
Car companies
marketed
in the world.
vehicles in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
yeah, it's pretty wild. But yeah, it was interesting to see that. At basically an everyman now. Like I said, a guy who used to be a famous musician who's now basically a normal guy and a podcaster now. In this with this Winston fella versus
Winston Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
Winston Marshall.
So, just a normal guy debating a lifelong politician who thinks she's one of us. Nancy Pelosi's not a multimillionaire. She's just like you and me. Just an old lady who's flies on private jets everywhere. So, yeah, no, nonsense. I call nonsense on that. But yeah, it's a good debate. I suggest, if you want to get out on YouTube and watch the whole thing, go for it. It's an interesting debate. Yeah,
just type in Winston Marshall, Nancy Pelosi debate.
Or you just type in Nancy Pelosi, Oxford Union. It'll pull it right up.
But it'll also pull up her speech, which all she does is talk about.
Lament, yeah.
She laments populism and basically anything that has to do with people making their own decisions, she's against.
Yeah, you, the normal person, the everyday citizen, the voter, the taxpayer, you're not smart enough to make decisions for yourself. That's what you elected me to do for you. You don't know any better. If you were smart, you'd be a multimillionaire like me. Mm-hmm. You'd have insider trading information like me if you were smart. So, yeah. Forget the Hollywood elites, man. And good on Winston for coming out there and debating her. I'm surprised they didn't have somebody of more prestige to come out against her, though. Like, someone with more bona fides instead of just a musician.
I don't know who the other two people there. They looked like two young men. You saw it was the two young men sitting next to him when he got up. But I don't know who they were. That doesn't mean that they weren't good and that they weren't popular, but I have no clue who they were just by looking at them. So they could have been famous, YouTubers or, young and upcoming politicians or something, but I had no clue who they were. So
yeah, most definitely. Anyway, we'll kind of push on. I think we had that kind of how I feel about DEI. So I saw this great clip about DEI in scrolling through Instagram the other day, and it's profound. And it's Russell Brand of all people, but it's not Russell Brand now. It's actually Russell Brand from like 2009, whenever it's from a movie called Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So whenever you're ready, Chad.
I'm trying. Our computer getting a little lag. There we go.
I just carried on living my life. Oh, no, I was going to listen to that, but then I just carried on living my life. Oh, no,
That's
I was going to listen to that, but then
about all this, when you have to go to any of these like HR meetings or these, diversity or, gender inclusion meetings, just like I wish I did not have to be here right now. This is the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people in the corporate world have to do this stuff. We're at a small office, so we don't really get affected too much by this. We're an independent agency who exclusively works through a larger company. But what's interesting, though, is we don't have to really deal with a lot of that stuff. But what I told you about college kids, that is true. Whenever I was in college, they started making young men do sexual harassment training just to sign up for classes the next year. I mean, I got in. They started initiating that right as I was getting ready to graduate. I mean, that's like par for the course now. You have to do that every semester before you sign up for your next classes. So it's before you can sign up, they go, did you do your sexual harassment thing? And now I guarantee you they have a DEI version of that as well. So men have to, the kids have to take their sexual assault training, and they have to take their diversity, equity, and inclusion training, and racial sensitivity training, which is just crazy. It's like, I came here to go to school. I'm paying you. And you're telling me that I have to do this in order to register? It's like, do you want my money or not? But yeah, it's dumb, man. It's really, really dumb. But this is where we're at in society now. But yeah, that Russell Brand clip is on point, though. And we'll end on one more high note. I saw a video that was reminiscent of like the old days of like Johnny Knoxville and the Jackass era. So if you guys want to check this last one out, it's just It's basically just a bunch of guys causing chaos on a golf course. But I got a good laugh out of it, so I figured it'd be a good way to kind of end today's show, end our Friday show, before we go into the weekend.
All right. Pulling it up now. Yikes.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember. I mean, Jackass was like wild entertainment back in the day. Like, I mean, it was like stuff that they're like, people aren't ready for this. And then YouTube came out, and basically that's all YouTube was. It's all, I mean, and it still is kind of. YouTube is just where people do pranks and nonsense stuff like that. But whenever you're ready, Chad, I know the video just keeps looping and looping over and over again. So
Yeah, I'm working on it. Go ahead. Proceed.
God, drill that dude. Oh. Oh my God.
And they just drill these guys.
That is, yeah. I don't know. I got a kick out of seeing that. It's funny. It's mean, but it's funny. And I'm sure those guys they all know each other. They wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, that's just the kind of shenanigans guys are involved in. Just good old fashioned male camaraderie and fun, man. It's good times. But yeah, that's about all we got for you today. Just a couple of fun topics to talk about today. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and actually hope you guys have a great weekend too, because we won't be seeing you until, I guess it's Memorial Day Monday, so probably won't even see you till Tuesday.
Yeah,
so
we could do a show. I guess we don't have to though.
yeah, well, I might be out of town, so.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So, but that's about all we've got for you today. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful long weekend too, since it's Memorial Day. God bless you, and God bless our veterans who are out there as well. This is weekends is for you and those who didn't come back and made the ultimate sacrifice. So, God bless them, and we thank them for their sacrifices, our brothers in arms. So, that's about all we've got for you. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are signing off. God bless y'all.
See you later, everybody.